Hello, good morning, and welcome to another new lesson of your French program. Bonjour, chers apprenants, chers amis. Félicitations, grande félicitations, big congratulations for having completed the first 3 lectures of the section Greetings and Salutations. We learned a lot of new expressions to greet people when we meet them, and we also learned how to say goodbye. There were notions of formal as well as informal ways expressing pleasure when you met someone. The grammar section helped you to learn the alphabets used in French, les chiffres, that is, numbers, masculine, feminine, and a little on tu and vous. The sections on culture and civilization focused on the geography of France, introducing you to the main regions, the mountains, rivers, the land borders, the sea borders, and of course, you learned so many interesting things in the section on Saviez-vous? It is now time to move on, dear learners, to the next part of our course, which is titled Se présenter, which means to present oneself, to introduce oneself. We shall move similarly as before and follow the same order of dividing the lecture. Part 1, words, terms, and expressions. Mots et expressions. The first line I'd like to teach you is Je me présente. Je, as you know by now, is I. I present myself. In other words, I introduce myself. Je me présente. Présente. Je me présente. Bonjour, monsieur, je me présente. Good morning, sir. I introduce myself. Bonjour, madame. Je suis Pierre. Pierre is a common name, a boy's name in France. You find a lot of Pierres here and there. So, bonjour, madame. Je suis Pierre. Comment allez-vous? Now, this is the first time we are handling a formal note, a formal way of asking, how are you? How do you do? So far, we did the informal bits. That was ça va bien, comment ça va? This, comment allez-vous? Dear learners, is the near formal way of asking someone how they are, how do you do, how are you? Comment allez-vous? Comment allez-vous? The T of comment and A of aller, they link up. This is a part I have yet not handled in detail with you. For the moment, you can just follow the pronunciation that you hear from me and try to repeat the same. Comment, comment, comment allez-vous? Comment allez-vous? How do you do? The answer would be Je vais bien, merci. Je vais bien, merci. Comment allez-vous? Je vais bien, merci. Longer expressions. Bonjour, monsieur. Comment allez-vous? Good morning, sir. How do you do? Bonjour, madame. Je vais très bien, merci. Et vous? Bonjour, madame. Je vais très bien, merci. Et vous? Très bien, merci. Comment vous appelez-vous? Now, another term here. Comment vous appelez-vous? I insist at this point, learners, do not worry too much about the grammar. Listen to what is being said and try speaking alike. Comment vous appelez-vous? There is no Z here, but we do hear the sound of Z. That's because the S of vous and A is linking up This is a typical phenomenon we have in French language. I shall discuss it later. Comment vous appelez-vous? What is your name? Comment vous appelez-vous? The formal way of asking someone's name. Je m'appelle Sabine. Sabine is again another common name for a girl in France. Sabine, just like Pierre was a common name for boys, Sabine is yet another name for a girl. So, just for example, I have chosen these names to make you understand how a conversation proceeds, how you talk, how dialogues are formed, how longer expressions are put together. So, if someone asks you, comment vous appelez-vous? The answer would be, je m'appelle, whatever your name is. Je m'appelle Sabine, as in the example here. Et vous? Remember, we did this et vous even earlier. So, when someone asks you a question, you get back and ask the person a similar question. And what about you? Et vous? Je m'appelle Sabine. Et vous? The other person replies, moi, je suis Pierre. Je suis Pierre. In lecture 2, we had touched upon je suis, the structure je suis, which means I am. Je suis Pierre. So here it means I am Pierre. Instead of always saying my name is Pierre, one can also say je suis Pierre. Like in English, you don't always say my name is XYZ, you also say I am so and so. Similarly, in French, you could say moi, je suis Pierre. Enchanté. Remember, enchanté? Great to meet you. There are, however, different ways of asking someone their names, and these are largely informal. Salut, the first clue that this is an informal situation. Salut, comment tu t'appelles? We just did a formal bit where we were using vous. Comment vous appelez-vous? And here you see the usage of tu, which in itself is again proving that this is a familiar situation. This is an informal context. So you say salut, comment tu t'appelles? Tu t'appelles. Hi, what's your name? Salut, je suis Robert. It's not Robert. You write Robert, but in French, this is pronounced as Robert. Robert. Salut, je suis Robert. Et toi? Consistent use of tu and toi. There is no vous here. As I said, it's the informal context of conversation. Je m'appelle Eric. So in the earlier instance, it was je suis Pierre. Here they say je m'appelle Eric. You can use both formats. You can say my name is Mahesh. Je m'appelle Mahesh. Similarly, je suis Pierre. Je m'appelle Eric. Eric, Eric, Eric. Qui est? That is pronounced as qui, not qui. It's qui est. Qui est? C'est Philippe. Philippe Dumazy. It is Philip. Philip Dumazy. You often clarify. Who is it? It is Anand. Anand Kumar. Similarly, say Philippe. Philippe Dumazy. Dumazy is the surname. Philippe is the name. So you see Philippe Dumazy. Philippe would be the, there you go. Philippe is the prénom. Dumazy is le nom. Remember that. I read once more. Salut. Comment tu t'appelles? Salut. Je suis Robert. Et toi? Je m'appelle Eric. Qui est-ce? C'est Philippe. Philippe Dumazy. Qui est-ce is who is it? C'est Philippe. Philippe Dumazy. This does with your first section on expressions, slightly longer expressions, a bit of formal ways of asking how do you do, and then we ask what is your name informally, formally. So we have touched upon some expressions of how to carry forward the conversation when you meet people. This is a step ahead of simple greetings and salutations. This is part 2, grammaire, grammar. Here, I would like to start a new thing today. It is les pronoms, pronoms personnels, that is personal pronouns, which are used in place of nouns. This we all know, nouns and pronouns. They reflect gender, person, and number, whether singular, whether plural, whether masculine or feminine. Personal pronouns can be the subject or the object of sentences, and they take different forms depending on their role. It's as simple as he, she, they, we. They are all representing some noun. Instead of the noun, we use he, she, they. So we should look into the French, the French version of pronouns, personal pronouns. Singular, je, as I said, je is I, tu, you, il, elle. These two words, they're pronounced as il/elle, meaning he or she. Elle is she and il is he. Nous, last S is silent. Nous is we. Vous is you or you all. Il and elle, plural, that is they. The S is silent in both cases. So it's they masculine and they feminine. I'd like to remind you that whenever you have a plural, that is a group of masculine and feminine combined, it is collectively the masculine that is taken. For example, it's a group of boys and girls. That entire group would be taken as masculine. They are doing, so they, even if that includes girls, it would still be this, ILS, il. This does with your very important start to a new phase in grammar, French grammar, where you've learned the personal pronouns I, you, he, she, they, we. So please remember this. This is going to come handy in making longer sentences and phrases as we go ahead into our next lessons. Now the weather. There are different ways of describing the weather in French. Il fait beau. Very simple pronunciation. Il fait. T is silent. Fait beau. Il fait beau. Beau is almost like B-O, beau. Il fait beau, meaning it is pleasant. It's lovely weather. It's a nice weather. Il fait mauvais. S is silent again. Mauvais. It is bad weather. Il fait du soleil. Soleil, it is sunny. If you notice the root word soleil, do you see S-O-L? Well, these are all the root words. They have common roots somewhere, anything associated with the sun, solar eclipse. So here too, because French is derived from Latin, we look at common roots of words. This is just an offhand information when you look at something like SOLEIL, soleil. So you can make an intelligent, informed guess that this is about the sun. Il fait du soleil. Simple, soleil. The last L is silent. It is sunny. Il fait froid. Froid. Last D is silent. It is cold. Il fait chaud. The last D is silent. It is hot. Il fait humide. Remember, H is silent in French. So you don't say humide, you say humide. Il fait humide. It is humid weather. Did you notice that there is a common phrase, il fait, which occurs in all sentences here? So when you're talking about the weather, this is a generic format that you follow. You always say il fait beau, il fait chaud, il fait froid. That is the normal structure of the sentence when you talk about weather, which in French is called le temps. Le temps. Try speaking it like I did. Il fait beau, il fait mauvais, il fait du soleil, il fait chaud, il fait froid, il fait humide. Once again, we are back to the les chiffres, numbers. And today we have from 31 to 50. That's a long stretch. But why I have chosen this is most of it is something you have already done. You know 30, that's 30. After that, you see, you are just adding and the 3, 4, which you have done. It's been almost 3 lessons now. So it's 30 and 1 is 31, 32, 33. This is a very what I'd say, a very thought of progression. There is no complication here. You can just make out what is what, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8. So similarly, you go on till 39, that's 39, and 40 is 40. 40. 40 is 40. The only difference here is 31, where you have this small little a, 31. The rest of them are just 32, 33, 34. You don't have this et, a, which means and. 30 and 1, this et is only specific to 31. It was there even in 21, 21. And then on you had 22, 23, 24. Similarly, in 31, we have 31, 32, 34, go until 39, and we have 40. Listen to it carefully. 40, 40. Again, 41 is 41, 41. There's no break. Try noting that the French sounds, they're very soft and flowing. If you note, there may be different words put separately, but the speech, it's like one linked to the other. So the sound that you hear is soft and flowing and without breaks. Like you wouldn't say 41. It's 41, 42, 43. It's a flow. It's that sound system, it's that music specific to the French language that you should know. When you hear someone, believe me, when we were learning French, at the beginning, we wouldn't understand a word because normally French is a language that the natives speak very fast. They speak very fast. So naturally, for people who are learning the language, it often just escapes you. But slowly, one gets the hang of it. Slowly, you get to grasp words, meanings, and then it's normal. But still, even if you hear something being spoken in French and you don't understand quite what is being said, it is that lilt, the register, the tonality of language that you should catch and know, okay, this sounds like French. Sometime later, you'd know, yes, that is French. Then you'd catch a word here, a word there, and that's how you get into understanding the language, and then later communicating. So please note when you're saying things like 41, don't say 41, it's 41. Same logic there. 5, 6, 7. Keep adding after 40 till you reach 49, 49, and there you have 50. That's 50. 50. There we do. You've finished your counting till 50. That's another landmark. Félicitations à moi, à vous, to both of us. And we reach part 3, Culture et Civilisation, culture and civilization. And what do we have here? Oh, well. Now we take on something closer home. I introduced you to the Francophone regions of the world, a very cursory study of the map, the world distribution of countries included in the Francophonie. Now, today we are going to do some of the places in India which were occupied by French once upon a time. Also understand that these places are not colonies. They were not ex-French colonies. They were French establishments where the French remained for a long period of time, but they were not colonies. They were what we call les établissements français. Les établissements français. Get a hang of it. It's something like the French establishments. Yes, they're certainly not colonies. India was very much a British colony. These were small places, small quarters, which were les établissements français. Let's learn about this here. India was technically never a part of the Francophone world. It is not even today. But there are some parts of the country that remained under French control. Places in South India, Puducherry, it's a union territory today, Mahe, Karaikal, and Yanam. These are all places in South India. Places in East India, you have this small little town of Chandanagar in West Bengal in East India, of course. Let us look at the map of India. As I said, Chandanagar is located in West Bengal. It's on the banks of the Hooghly. Yanam is on the borders of Andhra and Tamil Nadu. You have Pondicherry, Puducherry, as we know it now. It's a union territory. And Mahe and Karaikal, these are also parts of the union territory of Pondicherry, though Mahe is on the Malabar coast, that is on the other end. It's technically on the Kerala side, but it's very much a part of the union territory of Pondicherry. And you have another small little place called Karaikal. So these 4 places, Puducherry, Karaikal, Yanam, and Mahe, are 4 spots in South India which have had considerable French influence till date, which shows amply in the architecture, cuisine, language presence, a lot of tourists from France, small little libraries, research centers. These have a lingering French presence even till date. You can look at some of the pictures here. Beautiful architecture. In fact, you see a blend of, European and Indian architecture here. Very pretty pictures. These cities are very beautiful. You have Yanam, Union Territory of Pondicherry. Mahe on the Malabar coast, as I said. You have Karaikal. And then you have Chandanagar in West Bengal. This is the riverfront, the very famed riverfront on the Hooghly, which stands till date in Chandanagar, one of the oldest French establishments in India, and a very famed French department also in Chandanagar College till date. A slight history of their being under the French and joining the Indian Union. On 1st of November 54, the four settlements of Pondicherry, Yanam, Mahe, and Karaikal were de facto transferred to the Indian Union, making the Union territory of Puducherry. However, the de jure union of French India with the Union of India took place after the French Parliament ratified the treaty in 1962, and these places formally joined the Indian Union only after that. That brings us to the end of today's lecture, but not before we do a special section. That's Saviez-vous, and what do we have today? You must have heard of Auroville, have you? Auroville is an experimental township in Viluppuram district, mostly in the state of Tamil Nadu, with some parts extended into Puducherry in India as well. Now, Auroville, if you look at the word Auroville, ville in French means town or city, establishment. Auro, a lot of people say that Auro means the aura, the light. Some people also believe it's for the saint Aurobindo, whose ideas inspired the lady who set up this place, Auroville. It was founded in 1968 by Mira Alfasa, who was known more as Sri Ma. She was deeply inspired by the ideas of Sri Aurobindo. I'm sure you've heard of him, the great philosopher and freedom fighter. And the place was designed by the architect Roger Anger. The Matri Mandir remains a tourist attraction for many in Puducherry, and as I said, it's a huge presence for the French tourists in India who come, who stay there, and it's also a kind of an international place where people from other countries come and they are taught to stay in harmony, how the ideal ways of life. You have people from different nationalities coming and settling down in Auroville, and it's a unique culture that the place has developed. Here in images, you have this famed dome of the Matri Mandir, Auroville. A lot of tourists come here. It's like a meditation spot. You come, you stay, you meditate, you read. It's a unique representation of Indo-French architecture, Indo-French coming together. So that's an important thing you should know. If you ever visit Pondicherry, this is something you should certainly take a look at. A quick recap now. In this lecture, we went through longer expressions and sentences about introducing yourself, je me présente, asking and telling your name and surname, some more expressions when meeting and getting introduced to someone, personal pronouns, counting from 30 to 50, and of course, we did a bit of the small little francophone section in India, what we call les établissements français, certainly not colonies, they were ex-établissements français en Inde. We did 4 places in South India and 1 in West Bengal, Chandanagar. We saw the maps, location, and main areas where these places are. And of course, we also looked at Auroville, the setting up of the Matri Mandir, coming together of the philosophies, Sri Ma getting inspired by Sri Aurobindo and setting up Auroville. These are new bits of information that also let you know how France and India have shared a long period of association, cooperation, and this continues to grow. Try looking up more themes that interest you regarding India and France. I'm sure you'd find many. Intéressant, oui. Très intéressant. Intéressant, interesting. Au revoir, mes amis, et à la prochaine pour vous raconter une autre histoire. That means bye for now, till we meet again with another story. Merci beaucoup de votre attention. Au revoir, à très bientôt.